Angelia Ong.
Hey
Hi.
guys, what's up, Australia, the land down under? I
I
don't
wish
know
I.
if my good friend Diana is watching, but hello,
I hope so.
Diana. Just
Oh
kidding.
yeah! Oh
I
yeah!
hope
That's
Yeah,
so.
true.
Diana Gurgida is my Miss Earth Air from
That's
Australia.
right.
Have you
You
been
know,
to Australia before,
well, I
Miss
planned to go
Angelia?
this year, but the pandemic
Oh
happened.
no.
And I always wanted to go. I just feel like Australia is such a beautiful country to
Yeah.
explore.
Yeah. Whenever my
Exactly.
cousins come here, when my cousins from the Philippines come here, they're always so excited. They're like, we want to be there during the winter time because it's so nice and cold. And I'm like, okay, sure. It's
Wait,
freezing.
And this
when is
accent, oh my gosh.
when is
I've had
winter?
20%
When
now,
is winter in the no? So
right
it's May
now.
right
Cold
now.
there right
How
Yeah,
now.
cold
I've
is
got
it
the
right now
heating.
there?
Let me check. I've got the heater going right now because it's absolutely it is 11 degrees
Ooh,
Celsius.
Ooh,
Could you
chilly.
imagine
ooh.
if it was Fahrenheit, I would be like it would be snowing in here right now.
Yeah.
I know. So how long will this last? Until June? July?
Usually mid-September, like sometimes the sun comes out around my birthday, sometimes it's still raining, but October, November is usually when it becomes nice and sunny and
Warm.
beachy. Yeah.
Because I know every time I read the papers on around December, you guys are already in, I
Yeah.
mean, hot weather, experiencing hot
Christmas
weather.
time is summertime here. So it's really
Yeah. Baliktad,
very
no?
nice.
Kasi you guys,
Yeah.
Yeah.
palaki sa
Yeah.
Northern Pole, so yeah. So let's go. What has kept you busy since winning Miss Earth, Miss Angelia?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe that was 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Actually, but this December it will be 5 years already, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
December 8,
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah.
yeah. It's our 20th anniversary. First and foremost for Miss Earth. We started in 2001, and the year I joined was 2015, and it was a crystal year, as they would say. And I was very blessed enough to win the crown, and it's been very magical. It really has changed my life in a lot of ways. A lot of doors have opened. I feel like I'm a different person in a way that the experience taught me so many wisdom, as I travel around the globe. I was one of the lucky winners who got to travel a lot during my time. I was actually also I also had the shortest reign compared to the other ladies.
Oh.
10 months.
But yeah, 10 months, because usually
Uh,
hold Miss Earth during October, November latest. But
mhm.
because it was the first time that the competition was held in Austria or in Europe, they
Right.
had
Okay.
to move it a little bit more to give more time to prepare for it.
Mhm.
So I only had 10 months, but it was very it was 10 fruitful months. Um, that gave me a lot of like experiences that I will forever be thankful for. So yeah, it's been busy. I've had a couple of endorsements here and there, and I started a business after that. Yeah, it's been
Amazing.
quite a ride. It's been quite a ride.
What has been the highlight of your Miss Earth reign?
Oh, I
Apart
always
from the traveling.
that. Well, I think when I turned over my crown was really a highlight for me personally, because on that day, because I was the back to back winner. It was a
Mm.
Yes.
feat that was quite, they would say, like impossible, but with God's grace I was able to pull it off. But on when I turned over my crown, it was also the same day that I graduated from college.
Wow.
Also like a back-to-back event for
Active
me.
event.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so in the morning I woke up really early and I had to be at the
At your graduation.
6 a.m. to
Oh
line up
my gosh.
graduates. And yeah, in the morning I was putting my makeup on to graduate, to walk for my graduation, and then right after we finished, I went straight to the Mall of Asia Arena and had my rehearsals, makeup for the evening where I turned over my crown. So it was a double
Sounds like
win
my
for
kind
me.
of
It's like graduating twice in a day.
day.
In school and graduating as Miss Earth as well. So yeah, I consider
Sounds
that
like my
as
kind of day.
yeah.
But Miss Angelia, did you expect to finish your course during your reign? Because I did some
No.
research. Yeah, I did a little bit of reading or research about you, and yeah, you were able to finish it without you thinking. It wasn't really your goal to finish your course during your time during your reign.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
tell
So
us more about it?
yeah, so what happened was I was already prepared to skip maybe two because it's 3 semesters a year for De La Salle.
Hmm.
So
Right.
I was ready to skip at least 2 semesters, I guess. But
Hmm.
so I wasn't really expecting to graduate during that time. But the thing is, I had like more than a month of free time not to travel abroad. Like I had
Hmm.
to be in Manila. So I really took the opportunity to finish my because I only had one subject left. It was really just to
Really
defend
sit down and
thesis.
study.
Thesis.
Yeah, just thesis
Yeah.
defense, you know. So I just needed to like fix it, polish it, and then I defend it. So it was gosh weeks of sleepless nights really and bugging my friends to help me.
Mm.
I was alone in my thesis. Like others had partners or a group with me. It was just me, myself, and I. So yeah, yeah,
But
it
I
was
just realized we
hard.
finished.
I cried. I
Yeah.
cried when they told me that I passed. I cried so much because like aside from winning a pageant, like
Hmm.
before I even dreamed or before I even realized that it was possible for me to win a pageant or an international pageant at that,
Yeah.
my goal was really to finish school. It was a
Yeah.
gift from my parents, and I was a working student as well. So
Hmm.
I know the value of education and I know the value of money. So it was something that I wanted to do not only for my parents but for myself.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was quite crazy, and I when I think about it, I still can't believe I was able to pull it off, and to think that I was only given 10 months.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had amazing teachers as well
Hmm.
in Benilde. They were very supportive, and they know I work, how much work I put into school as well. And finally,
Hmm.
I
I
just
got it.
realized we would have graduated university at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So I also finished my Bachelor of Music technically May of 2016, but then I didn't get to walk until October. So
Ah.
yeah, kind of like similar
Yeah, yeah,
times. It's so strange. Yeah, wow.
yeah. So that's why I had to celebrate 2 times
Yeah,
on
no, that's
that year when
amazing.
I turned over.
Miss Angelia, there's a phone. There's a phone. There's a phone in question. There's a question here
Hello
from Brandon Leb. I hope I pronounced his
on there.
surname right? Leb, Leeb. You were one of
Mm.
the most traveled queens of Miss Earth. Which country did you enjoy the most?
I've been fair to say just one country. Every country had a different experience. Like for example, I will always remember the first country that I went to as Miss Earth, and that would be Reunion Island.
Oh
It
wow.
Oh.
Yes, I honestly before Miss Earth, I didn't even know that Reunion Island existed.
Wow.
It was it caught me by surprise, like how beautiful Reunion Island was. They're a French colony, and I love how the mountains and the Indian Ocean meets. So one of the most memorable things that I did when I was there was when they made me ride a small plane, a two-seater plane.
Oh
So it's just a
wow.
pilot and you, and I was able to see the volcano, and then the mountain, and then on the other side, when you look on this side, you see the beautiful ocean. It's just magical and so unreal. And I was a little scared too, but I'm very adventurous, so I'm even looking forward to skydive in Dubai pretty soon when we're allowed. But yeah,
Okay.
so that was really memorable for me. And I think another one would be Sri Lanka as well, because they're so warm. They're like Filipinos. They
Mm-hmm.
made they made my stay, they made me feel like a royalty when I was there. Like just like Vietnam, they gave me flowers almost every day and
Oh
everywhere.
wow.
Like I had my whole sofa just full of flowers that I
Wow.
can't bring home. Like they're so sweet. They're so sweet. They're so warm. What else? Yeah, and, well, Colombia is also one of the countries that
You
left a
visit.
mark. Yeah, because I found one of my best friends, and we're still very good friends. She's actually staying here in the Philippines now, Michelle.
Ah, Miss Earth will be
Oh yeah,
there.
because
There to
yeah,
crown
that's right.
her. I was only there for a few days because I went from US and then I went to Colombia. And then yeah, so those are the top three countries that I think really left a mark, special
They're
mark.
going on the list, my travel list. As
Uh,
soon as as soon as the world opens up again, they're going on the list.
Mhm.
oh, tell me about it. Like
Ah,
I love traveling. I was
mm.
supposed to go to your
Yes.
country in Australia. We were
Oh, it
already
would have.
planning because it's my birthday on Saturday. I was actually
Oh
planning between
wow.
June or July.
Yeah,
So, but I guess
next
it'll have to
time.
wait. Australia will have to wait.
Yeah, we'll still be here.
Advance happy birthday.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. In 2 days. Oh my
that's so
God.
exciting.
No.
Another year younger.
But another year wiser.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Diba?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, Miss Angelia, 4 years after your reign, are you still updated ba with anything that is happening in Miss Earth, or do you still follow pageantry in general?
I still get tagged in a lot of photos, so I'd say like I'm still pretty much updated somehow, but not
Mhm.
as updated as I was before because you have to study, you have to check it out.
Mm,
But
Yes,
now
yes.
that I'm back in the normal
World.
world or setting,
to an extent,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
not as much, but I try my best to still be updated as much as I can, especially with Miss Earth activities as well. Because I'm
So,
still very much active even after my reign. I
Mm.
Every time they need me, I'm still on call somehow. Like for example, in 2016, even though I was already done with my reign and if the next queen already traveling, I still had one or two travels. I had one travel with the reigning queen in 2016. I think we went to no 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 hold on. It was
South
hold on.
America,
Senior moments. Yeah, no, it's South Africa area. Um,
Nigeria,
no.
Botswana,
Oh my
um,
god. I can't believe I can't remember.
Madagascar, or anyway, it's somewhere there. Egypt.
But yeah,
Uh,
I went with her there, but there was also another travel that I went to Mauritius
Oh no.
on my own because they requested me to
Um,
come back. So I would still
oh,
on call, and then I would still be active with the Miss Earth Foundation. I still go to schools and have my speeches once in a while, and would also help out with other partner foundations like the Coral Movement that takes care of
oh,
coral reef.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm pretty much still very occupied. And when it's Earth Hour, Earth Day, Environment Day, like that's when we're busiest. Yeah,
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
We just had
we're
World
in demand,
Environment Day
you
and
know?
World Ocean
Uh,
Day back to back not too
Mhm.
long ago.
So the reason
Yeah.
I asked you that question if you're still updated and active
Mhm.
with the pageantry world is that, as we all know, Miss Earth Philippines is having a virtual pageant, their first ever virtual
Yeah.
pageant in
That's
its
true.
history because of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about it
If there's
after
one
you?
thing I know about Miss Earth, like Miss Earth really knows how to adapt.
Yes,
Like
very much
they're
so.
pioneers of a lot of things. They're a trendsetter somehow.
Hmm.
And if I'm gonna be honest, at first I was quite shocked that we were gonna push through with a pageant, because that time when the pandemic, or I mean even before it was even considered a pandemic, when coronavirus was just very much fresh. um
Mm.
I personally felt like I couldn't even think of pageantry right now. Like my first instinct would be like, how are we gonna be safe? How are we gonna how are
Yeah,
we gonna um
ensure everyone's safety, health.
yeah, like, and then
Yeah.
like it's just so uncertain, like it's so, like, the future is just a mystery somehow, because we
Yes.
don't know we don't know much about the virus yet. So I was
Mm.
caught, I was kind of surprised, but I trust Carousel Production. I trust Tita Lorraine, and at first I was skeptical, to be honest. But as the longer that they continue to do it, now that I'm even hosting a few activities, I see now, like, how workable it can be as well.
Hmm.
It's just that it kind of takes away the experience for the girl,
Yeah.
like,
Especially that bonding experience.
I
Yeah.
met my best friends in pageants. Like, one of my best friends, Lady Riva, I met her in 2011 when I joined my first ever pageant, and we're still
Mhm.
friends. I even became her maid of honor on her wedding. And like Mitch, I met in
Yeah.
Colombia pageant. The Casey Halili, I met in Miss Manila. So I feel bad that the girls will miss out on these things. But
Yeah.
we go back to, why did we have Miss Earth in the first place?
Mm.
It's not really
Mm.
just about showcasing beauty or brains of the girls.
Nope.
The reason why Miss Earth existed is because of the cause, which is the environment. It
Yes.
all comes down to the environment. So it's quite smart, and I really, like, hands up to the Carousel team, to the Miss Earth team, for pulling the virtual pageant, because I think the soul of Miss Earth is to educate and inspire people to be more earth friendly. And now people are back in their homes, working from homes, on their computer, laptop, on their phones. Everyone's virtual right now,
Yeah.
and it's one of the perfect ways to push for the advocacy.
Hmm.
Like, the soul of the pageant is to advocate for the environment, and I think Miss Earth is just living up to that. I
100%.
And of course I want the girls to experience the nervios, or the nerves
Yeah.
stage, and you're about to shout, like, you see the other girls, you feel that energy,
Yeah, the energy,
and
100%.
people clapping for you. But it's just that maybe this time, we could just think of it as a special edition.
Mm.
No one's going out there right now anyways, um to hold a pageant at this moment, but at least for now. But
Yeah.
I just think that if the purpose of the pageant, which is to educate and inspire more people to be more earth friendly, then why not? It's the 20th year. Also, it's a
Yeah. It's
You're
kind of like if there was
wait,
going to be something
Earth.
different and special, it would be
You
this year.
you guys have no idea how much Carousel has prepared for this year. It's a
Mm.
special year for Miss Earth. Like on my year, we even went all the way to Austria, remember, to
Yeah.
celebrate the 15th anniversary. And they were really cooking up something beautiful for the girls for the 20th year. But, you know, things happen and we have to respect. But on the other hand, because of this pandemic, um, Earth has somehow healed slowly. It's
Yeah.
Yes.
slowly,
There.
there's
Taking a
a
breather.
It's
positive
incredible to
side.
see. Yeah, it's
You
incredible to see the physical
benefit
changes
that.
that our planet's made.
Go
Mm.
ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Justina. Sorry.
Sorry.
I talked too much on
Yeah,
it.
no, it's incredible to see like the physical changes that our planet has gone through while everyone's been in isolation or quarantine, depending on your physical status.
Mhm.
And just like we can see the Himalayas now because there's no pollution clouds. I know I've
Mhm.
seen photos of India and the Philippines, and
Yeah,
like
even
the color
Manila.
of the sky isn't that gray anymore. It's actually blue. And if we, just as people in general, um, you know, take the things that we've learned while being at home and actually input them to when, I mean, here in Australia, the world is almost like back to normal. Like we're going out. Like I've been at work this entire time and I work in retail. My life has not stopped. Um, but now more shops have opened up, more businesses are opening up. But if we can take the things that we've learned about the environment, that we've been able to, use our cars less, it would change our earth entirely. And yeah, it's just been great to see those physical changes in other countries because it's been such a drastic change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And who would have thought? Like it's just a crazy thought before crazy idea that the world would actually stop and
Mm-hmm.
this happened. But don't get me wrong, like I know it's good for the environment, but I'm also quite sad with regards to the people dying,
Yeah.
everywhere. In the Philippines, I'm actually quite worried because our numbers never go down. Like
Yeah.
other already um, somehow flattened the
Going up.
curve. Oh, they have curves. We don't have a curve yet. It keeps on just
Mm.
like that,
Going up.
Going up, yeah.
up. We're not going
Yeah.
down yet. So I kind of feel bad, but
It's very bittersweet.
okay. So we can do is really just support each other
Mm-hmm.
and mental health is also very important these
Yes.
days. If we
Yes.
could encourage someone, to love themselves more, because sometimes when you're alone and you cannot go out and you just have your thoughts, you're only with your thoughts, and it
Mm-hmm.
can be sad too. But
Yeah.
it's okay to be sad, but just don't stay there. Make sure
Mm-hmm.
you get out of there.
Yeah.
It's what makes us
Being
human. We have
Yeah.
emotions. We have this change of feelings,
Mm-hmm.
but we shouldn't be getting stuck.
Yeah.
You know, we should continue living and we should continue helping each other out because that's all we can do
Mm-hmm.
right
Yeah.
Okay. Given with what you said, Miss Angelia, we should be supporting each other, helping each other out. Do you think this is what Miss Earth, the organizers of Miss Earth, is doing as to why they're still, coming up with this pageant, albeit virtually?
Yeah,
Do you think it's relevant? Do you think it's still relevant?
yeah, I think, it's not just Miss Earth. Anyone right now who puts themselves out there and talk about issues like mental health and the environment, it will always be relevant. Imagine if one person can just inspire one and that person can inspire another. It's just going to be a domino effect. And the moment we're done with our quarantines and we go out there woke about social issues and environmental issues, I think this world will be a better place. So it will
Yeah.
remain relevant,
Yes.
it's not just the pageantry,
Mm.
and we have loyal fans. Miss Earth have loyal fans, and I'm so thankful for them. We are still continuing because we still have fans that are very passionate, that are very excited. I still get texts from here and there, and it warms my heart, you know, like even though I'm done with
Yeah.
pageant 5 years ago, but um like I'd say I have one fan I have on top of my head that I would consider already as a sister and a family. Her name's Ara. Hi Ara. I don't know if she's watching, but she always watches
Oh,
everything that I'm in on.
that's so
Um
Uh-huh.
sweet.
but Ara's became family to me. Like she would make surprise birthday parties for me. I was even
Oh,
on her wedding.
oh,
I was one of her bridesmaids. You know, like
that's
we have.
so sweet.
She's amazing. Like fans like her are amazing, and that's why we're happy to put on a show. Not put on a show, but we put on a relevant show that
Yeah.
would still somehow make our fans happy in the 20 years that they've been supporting us, and at the same time still live up to the soul of the pageant of Miss Earth, which
Mm-hmm.
is about the environment. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's about helping each other because everybody needs someone right now. No man is indeed an island. You know, like
Yes. True.
um, the even online. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like come on, Instagram. It's not as authentic as we see it.
Mm.
Um, I just feel like it's still good that we have conversations like this.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
we're doing right now. We're engaging conversations regarding relevance of having a pageant, or may it be about the environment, and even local issues such as the terror bill,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
Iha Ako movement locally, the Black Lives Matter. These
Mm-hmm.
are very important issues that people should be engaged in.
Yes, very much so.
This is how we educate ourselves, and this is how we change the world.
Mm-hmm.
One
So
live
if you were
stream at a time.
so if So if you're a pageant contestant right now, you'll be like overwhelmed with so many social issues that you need to study,
Oh yeah,
even
yeah,
if
Yeah.
you're just at home,
definitely.
because everything
Yeah, from
from
health,
COVID,
from
health,
COVID to locally we have the terror bill
their
coming
bill,
up.
Yes.
Yeah,
Black
and then the
Lives Matter, race,
Iha
yeah,
Ako, Black Lives Matter movement. So good luck with
And
the
I'm sure
ladies
there's yeah,
doing the virtual pageant. I'm so happy
I'm
I'm
sure
done.
those will be topics that will come up for all their Q&As and just interviews that they have to do, because I'm sure like interviewing people will be a
And
lot
Miss
easier.
Earth, and Miss Earth, even though we're a environmental pageant somehow, but we don't limit our questions with environmental issues.
No.
No,
yes,
because as far as I can remember, during my time when 5 years, oh my god, 5 years ago, exactly 5 years ago, during Miss Philippines Earth, when I was vying for the national pageant, Miss Philippines Earth, I was the first girl to be to be given the question for the Q&A round, and there was I think 10 of us, and I was the first
Mm-hmm.
one. So there was no one before me. And I was prepared for an environmental question.
Mm-hmm.
I studied global warming, biodiversity,
Yeah.
environmental issues, problems, solutions. I was prepared for that. And then they gave me a question that just, you know, somehow shocked me. The question was, do you believe in same-sex marriage? And during that
oh,
time, same-sex marriage was not yet legalized
in the
in most
States,
of the
In
countries.
most
Even in
places.
the
Yeah.
States, it was. I remember that came up because there was one European country that was that allowed same-sex
Yeah.
marriage, and that's why that came up. But
Mm-hmm.
generally anywhere in the world, let's say it was just 2 out of 10 countries that that allows that. So basically, US wasn't still allowed, and still
Wasn't yet here as well.
I was like, oh my God, like in my head, like, wow, like how do I answer this question? For this is this is such a conservative and Catholic country.
Mm,
20 they're not as open as how we scream pride right now. I'm so happy with the progress. It's good
yeah.
that we get to talk about these things because you see
And
progress.
it's
Like me
Pride Month
personally,
as well.
I see it. I see it. I love how people are trying to be as creative as they can and how they show their support. Right now it's June. It's not only my birthday month, but it's Pride
It's
Month.
Pride Month.
Yes. Happy Pride.
Happy
Happy Pride,
Pride.
everyone. So it's not it's it goes hand in hand, like our
Mm,
our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQI plus
yes.
plus family, like they're the number one supporters of pageants. Like how
Yeah.
can we not support them? It's impossible. They've shown nothing but love, and there is no reason for us not to respect and love them back. They are allowed to take spaces as well as each and every one of us.
Yes.
And I
Hmm.
think
You're right.
all of these, like all the social issues that are happening, they're all happening on Earth. The environment
Yes.
isn't the only thing happening on Earth. So it makes
Yeah.
sense that those questions are all integrated because it's all happening at the same
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Good.
I would always, yeah. I would always like say this sometimes in my speeches, like, of course, our priorities are our loved ones, our parents, our partners, but the thing is, I feel like we should also put Mother Earth at that level of love
Yes.
with loved ones, because without Earth, then there's no loved ones to take care of. Like,
Exactly.
we would
True.
freaking exist without this planet. And sometimes when I look up in the stars at night, I just it makes you feel so small. How
Hmm.
like, there's those dots are bigger than the sun. And it just makes you feel like you're really just a speck of dust. But it doesn't matter. Like this speck of dust in this universe and this galaxy can actually make a difference, and that's everyone is the same. So we all have the same power to do that.
Yeah.
Right. That's a bit what that's one of the beauty. That's one of the things that that I really think is a blessing in disguise
Mm.
at this pandemic. During this pandemic,
Hmm.
we get to learn something from amongst each other, from
Mm.
everything that's going around. It makes us more aware, informed, research
Hmm.
about topics we haven't even discussed before. Yung Reunion Island nga, as you were saying, ako rin eh. Sabi ko, ngayon ko lang, because of Miss Earth, meron palang Reunion Island na former na French colony pala. So, alam mo yun, it's really something na napapaano ko with more, because now, given with the pandemic, given that a pandemic is happening right now, there's more me time we have
Yeah.
right now at our disposal. So it's really up to us how we will be able to use it productively.
Yes, I
But
For any
agree.
of
Miss,
our for any of our non-Tagalog speaking watchers, what Adam just said is like, oh, I didn't even know that Reunion Island was a French colonized country. Just had
It's
to be the
so
translator for everyone.
beautiful. It's just 1 hour away from Mauritius, you guys.
Oh wow.
So you land in
oh,
Mauritius, you cannot go straight. So you land in Mauritius, and then from Mauritius you can go to Reunion Island.
Ah, okay.
You need a I think you'll need a Schengen visa somehow.
Yeah.
because it's a
Because it's
French colony.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah. People
Well,
there. It's like
I
a
think I still
tropical
have a French
country,
visa.
but it's like
And
it's a mix of different races and living
I
harmoniously.
love that.
And they speak
Okay.
French. I was like, oh, okay.
I'll see if I can.
Yeah, I love what you said earlier that Miss Earth knows how to adapt. Miss Earth knows how to innovate things here in and out, and a lot of people can see that. A lot of people are appreciating that, but there are still a lot of people who really, majority of the people who think that Miss Earth couldn't still be at par with in terms of in terms of the grandiosity uh and the glossiness of always staging a pageant. Like there's a question here
Mhm.
from Greg
Mhm.
Adlawan. One
Mhm.
national director mentioned Miss Earth. Actually, I know the national director. He's from South Africa. Mentioned that Miss Earth is not as far as the other three major pageants. One
Mhm.
example
Mhm.
cited was the winner should have been speaking in UN and to the international media about the climate change and the environment costs, just like Greta Thunberg. So, any thoughts on that? Na parang, okay, Miss Earth
I
has
guess
really a good advocacy, but it's not living
it's
up
not
to its
because I
full
feel like it's not
potential.
picking up. Yeah.
Yes.
I understand where these things are coming from, and I will only be speaking from my
From
experience and from my
yeah.
opinion. And I do not represent anybody at any, the next words that I'll be saying. I'm not representing anyone, not Carousel, not Miss Earth, but I will be speaking through experience and through what I think. Um, it's it's really not easy somehow to partner with certain organizations. During my time, um, I'm going to speak with experience.
Hmm.
We actually had a good relationship with the United Nations there in Vienna, Austria, because they have a headquarters in Vienna.
Hmm.
And honestly, I was able to speak for the United Nations representing our country. I was able to have like the girls were able to have well, not all of the girls, but few of the girls were brave enough and lucky enough to stand in the podium and address the United Nations. It would just I just feel bad that it wasn't um, somehow covered. I guess
Yeah, and
as much.
advertised.
Yeah, like we don't have like a
Promoted.
proper.
Yes.
We weren't properly covered or like promoted on
Promoted.
TV. Yeah, because like I'm just saying
From your
from
point of
experience,
view.
China. Like Europe, pageants are not really a big thing to them.
Mm.
It
In
was also
comparison,
yes,
yeah.
like they're like, what do you mean? Like what pageant? Like I would still get that. I'd still get that.
Mm.
I remember like after winning Miss Earth, we went to the birthday party of the president of Austria at the time. We got invited
Wow.
there because we were wearing our sashes, and there were a lot of people there. It was like, what is that? Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing here? What are these sashes? Like, you had no idea, like, why,
it's very
what
similar here in
this
Australia.
thing exists.
Yeah.
So, like, we always had to explain ourselves, this and that. And then we were actually supposed to have a project also with the United Nations in one of their divisions.
Hmm.
But I don't know if I was able to share this in the past. I think I've only shared this to really close people, but I'm gonna say it out in the open. I hope I don't get, you know,
Flash.
I nah. I think
Not just like in trouble.
it's really no one's fault. But I was supposed to have a really good project. We were really working hard, Miss Earth and I, the foundation and Carousel. We were really working on a really good project with UN from Austria. But the thing is, we had a little bit of a setback
Hmm.
because um, one of the desire the people who's gonna supposedly decide if it's a go or no.
One of like the producers or something.
No. This is on the
Mm.
UN side.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm thinking if I get be in trouble. But
Okay.
anyway, but this is what happened. I'm just gonna say, anyways, out there. I mean, if Yuna is gonna pick this up and improve on it, then why not? It happened in
Mm.
the past anyway, and it's just because of one person. There was a setback because one person who has a vote if the project is a go or a no said no, and I think it was um, because of that the project couldn't push through because um, she said, or this person said that he or she doesn't believe um, that the girls that wear the girls who are wearing swimsuits to
Oh,
Ah.
represent
So
Like
there's
they
no
feel like they
credibility
don't want to be associated with a
That's such an
organization that has girls in
parading in
swim.
swimsuits.
Yeah, and these were their words, and I cried when I heard that because I
and this
feel
is
like
only
coming
that long ago.
someone
Geez.
from the United Nations, that's such a heartbreak for me. That's
Yeah.
such a, there's and I wanted to have a meeting with this person. Actually, I asked
Hmm.
we could sit down with this person and maybe convince this person otherwise. Maybe when this person meets me, he'll know that we're more than just girls who showcase our body. It's not
Yeah.
that. We're not just flesh, if that's what
No.
she just sees. It's such a tragic, sad experience, honestly. But don't get me wrong, that's just one person, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes one person can really make a difference.
Hmm.
Like it's that's why it's not very easy to just, because honestly, Miss Earth has been partnering with a lot of non-government and government projects as well. It's just that I just feel like it's not given enough media, you know,
Hmm.
Exposure
exposure
or coverage.
yeah, you have no idea how many speeches I've done, how many trees I've planted. I lost count. I used to name the trees that I plant.
Oh my gosh, I feel the
In Miss
same
Earth,
way.
in Miss Earth, well, we had names for it. It was what is it? ABC. The first
Hmm.
the first trees that we planted, it was Miss Chanel, and I forgot the other one, but our names are A for Angelia, and then Bea. It was Bea. So ABC. We called our trees ABC right next to each other because,
Hmm.
and then I lost count. Like I would plant trees, guys, in the morning, at lunch, even in the evening. I planted a tree in the evening. Where was I during that time? Like in Sri Lanka. I
Mm.
planted, like, and I lost count already. Like there's so much out there that we've done, but it's just that I think we have to improve on how to show.
Showcasing that side of things.
Yeah, because sometimes even
Yeah.
our photos is not high resolution. I think I'm pretty guilty with that during my reign.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. No.
well, to explain, it's because I chose not to have a plus one during my travels.
Right. So you were doing everything all on your own.
Yeah, because originally when you win Miss Earth and when you travel, there's supposed to be I'm trying to find a term, like a person from Carousel who will go with you,
Like a
like
chaperone.
Yeah, chaperone.
chaperone. Yeah. So I was supposed to have that, but I chose
Hmm.
not to because I feel like I was already 25 that time, and I feel like I was
Hmm.
independent. And I told Tita Lorraine, like, Tita, would it be okay if instead of me having a chaperone, maybe I could just bring my girls, my elemental queens in my travels. So that's what
That's
I did. So in Reunion Island, my Miss Air, Diana, got to be with me. In Sri
hmm
Lanka, my Miss Water got to be with me, which is Miss USA. And then when I went to Colombia, or no, when I went to the US, my Miss Fire was able to come with me. And then I went back again to Air. Well, I did two trips with um, USA, with my Miss Water. So I mean, like, yeah. So that's what happened. So yeah, there's a lot of things. I feel like I know that there's a lot of things to improve with Miss Earth, and um, I think we have to really improve on that side, so that you
hmm
guys will get to know what we put out there. The thing
Yeah.
is, when we do our work silently
Yeah.
sometimes,
hmm
which is we should change that. That's why the pageant is there, so that we could make some noise
Yeah.
and inspire more people.
Yeah.
But I'm curious ask, recalling that painful experience that you had with with someone from with a high ranking official in UN, did you bring this up
Yeah.
to Carousel Productions, and what was
Yeah,
its
actually they
reaction?
know about no, they know about it because we were heartbroken together. Because
Hmm.
we could not stay too long in Austria because we
Hmm.
were I stayed there for 6 weeks already, and from winning, we were only there for a week, so we could not get a meeting with this person because I don't think this person has any, maybe he or she was just not available, or maybe she doesn't want to see us.
Hmm.
I don't really know the real reason behind it, but um, don't get me wrong though. Aside from that one person, everyone was supportive in Austria. You have
Oh,
no
that's
idea
good.
how much support we got from the United Nations. Oh my God, we have a lot of Filipino community in United Nations actually, and they've been nothing but supportive, and they also helped. Like they were trying to get to convince this person as well, but then we can only do so much. We can
Hmm.
only do so
Very true.
much
Because
on
you know
that
the
part.
reason
And
why
we need,
the reason I'm sorry, the
yeah,
reason why I asked these questions. Hello.
mm, yeah, I can
The
hear you.
reason why I ask these questions is because
Yep.
Miss Earth is always being compared to other pageants. It really pains me, that Miss Earth has to be subjected to a lot of criticism like that.
Criticism,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I,
because
Mm.
we think of it like we cannot really please everyone. That's one thing,
No.
and I think that's what makes the Miss Earth Queens or Miss Earth team get to sleep soundly at night is because we are very much um, we're how I'm trying to think of the right term, like there's this sense of fulfillment because
Yes.
we know whether you guys saw it or not, we know we did our job.
Yeah. And we
And
physically make a
that,
difference.
we know that, but it's
Yeah.
hard to really prove these critics
oh
wrong,
my
considering
God,
that
you know how much bashing
Yeah.
I had to go through when I won?
Oh my God. Me too.
The back to back, it was
So much.
tough on me. It was
Mm.
quite a challenge.
Yes.
But
I can
I think
empathize
it
with
anyway.
you there.
Oh
but
my God.
Yeah.
so that's
I
another
mean, being the,
criticism.
sorry.
Oh yeah, you were saying,
So
go
I was
ahead.
just being the third Filipino Australian person or woman person to win Miss Earth Australia in a row. So I was a back to back to back Filipino Australian, and the amount of bashes that I got was astounding. Like I had it feeling because my friend Monique, who was Miss Earth Australia 2018, she got that, and then so once I that crown was on my head, it was like, oh yeah, exciting, and then I was like, here we go.
Another Filipina girl.
Yeah, another one. But once, well, one, you watch the pageant, you know that I was the most prepared. I had spent the time from the 8th of September 2018 to the 8th of September 2019 prepping for the next year because I was in the 2018 edition of the Australian pageant as well. Um, I spent pretty much 2 years preparing myself to become Miss Earth Australia 2019. Also, I'm about as Australian as they come. Yes, my mum is from the Philippines, but you listen to how I talk, you see how I like do everything on my day-to-day life,
I don't
and
think
the
it needs to
amount
be
of
a
stuff.
problem. Everyone's biracial.
I
What are you
know
talking
this
about?
whole
There's
this
one
whole
race. It's
country,
human race.
exactly. This whole country, the whole reason why a lot of the people in this country exist is because of immigration. So,
Mm.
like, I don't know. If they want it to be a true Australian girl to represent Australia, we need more Aboriginal women
I
representing
think
our country.
I think one thing that made my bashing a little bit bearable or less was because of the fact that my judges in Vienna, Austria, they were heads of the United Nations.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And there was only one Filipino in the board of judges, which is Tita Lorraine, because she
Mm-hmm.
always gets one seat anyways every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
So it was like 80 to 90% non-Filipino
Exactly.
judges. So at least, like I could really say like, hey guys, like there's no such thing as cooking, guys. My God, I have no money for that first and foremost. My
Yeah.
gosh. But Miss Earth has gone through a lot of um, unwanted attention in the past, but we've
Mm-hmm.
always come out stronger and we've always
Yes.
surpassed it. And,
Yes.
we move along, we carry on, and we do our job.
Yeah, that's how you guys still do it, despite even
That's why
being
we're
still
still here.
Exactly.
yeah. That's why you lasted for 20 years. That's why another criticism, another question I want to ask is because there's another criticism that the pageant is
Mhm.
always about it's about it's a pageant made by the Filipinos that is for the Filipinos. So is it
Yeah,
something that
I hear that a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
so is it something that's coincidental more than just or just
It's
more than a
You
definitely
coincidence?
know,
coincidental.
it's both. For me, I'll
Yeah.
explain it's both. And I'll explain why. It's coincidental because, of course, if there's one thing I could vouch for Miss Earth, and that is they're very fair.
Yes.
Because they're so fair, they become very controversial by being so fair. I don't know if you remember the time in Miss Philippines Earth where the girls had to cover their faces.
Mm,
Yes, yes.
Remember that, and it became a controversy. But you know what, the sole purpose of that, I know it in my heart that Tita Lorraine did not mean to give it any other meaning than just to be fair, because she wants to give the girls who really work hard for their body a fair chance
mm-hmm.
that
Yes.
award,
Mm,
because that award is about fitness.
Exactly.
Because what
And that
Tita Lorraine
commitment
said
to your
that
body as
she
well.
noticed, because she notices sometimes the front runners, the front
They
runners,
could
even their
pay.
body is not as good as as the
as
ones who
fit as
really
the other work
really
hard for it.
work hard for their body. They
Yeah.
still win it. So Tita was like,
Because they
why
know how
don't
to
we cover
distract.
their faces, and so that the judges can focus on the hard work the girls put into.
Yes.
That's how fair it is.
Yeah.
And that was the purpose of it. But and then other people just took it differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I know
Yeah.
in my heart that Miss Earth is very fair.
Yeah.
I
And
am
if that,
I am a result of that. I am a result
mm-hmm.
of that. I like, of course, I dreamed of winning and all that, but it's because of hard work. This is where the part
Yeah.
where I say, right? It's like coincidence and also
Mm-hmm.
not. The not part is because you cannot blame the girls for winning, Filipino girls for winning, because we work our ass
So
off.
hard. Yeah.
We work so
Yeah.
hard to make it
And you
to
need to, if,
top 10,
yeah.
top 5, and the crown.
And you have that
You can see
recognition because of all that hard work.
Yeah, you can see it
Yeah.
in our perform. I think our performances can testify to why we're deserving of that, and I cannot let other people
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
that
It is.
away from us.
Yeah.
Like, come on, it's not just Miss Earth. Filipinos win everywhere. What are you talking about? We win
And also,
everywhere.
yeah.
No,
15. How
because
many
you know
girls
what?
were we?
So
Because
Correct
many.
me and Tita
Your
won.
year
We
was crazy. But
We
it's
won
also,
everything.
yeah.
From Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss International, Miss
International,
Earth, Miss
Miss
um
Intercontinental.
Intercontinental, Miss Supranational.
Yeah. Like if
yeah,
that was
come
if that
on.
were the case for Miss Earth, if it was always like that preferential for the Filipino girl, I would have placed. But
Yeah.
the fact of the matter is that so many other girls did better than me in their performances. That's why they placed higher than me. and I accept that. But a lot of people were saying, "Oh, she Miss of Australia is Filipino. She's gonna make an elemental." I didn't.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
am I upset with my performance? No, because I felt like I did the best that I could. I made like a whole nother family in Davao, which is a place I've never been to until Miss Earth. And yeah, it's like
You know,
if that were the case,
Susanna.
I would have played.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I'm
Go
done.
ahead, babe. You go finish your thought. Sorry.
It's just yeah, it's just I yeah, that there was those two sides, like, oh, we've got another Filipino girl, preferential treatment. But if there was
Oh,
preferential treatment, I would have placed. So guess what?
there
That's
is
how you
another.
know how fair it is.
There is another thing I'd like to clarify to everyone who's watching Miss Earth. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
people think that when you're Miss Philippines, representing Philippines at the Miss Earth pageant, people
Mm-hmm.
think you're lucky already because you're from the
So, oh my god,
Philippines.
but there's so much
People
pressure.
think, yeah, people think that they're gonna put favors because it's Miss Earth is from the Philippines
It's
and you're a
country,
Filipino.
yeah.
Oh my God, I have to debunk that
Mm-hmm.
once and for all because based on my experience, it was harder because you know why?
Mm-hmm.
All of these who's from every other country, other well, every other country that's not Philippines, you
Yeah.
guys have national directors that you can rely on because
Mm-hmm.
I cannot rely my
On
the
Tita
things that
Lorraine.
national competition from Tita Lorraine because Tita Lorraine
Because
is
she,
again very fair.
yeah.
She's very fair. In Vienna, they wouldn't even want to talk to me, especially when
Mm-hmm.
there are girls around. They don't want the girls to feel like I'm being favored. It was
Yeah.
tough. Like during the time like when I had food because like my aunt, my mom, like when they would bring me so much food and I want to share
Mm-hmm.
it, I'd have
Mm-hmm.
to like have it delivered in their rooms and I could not even like give it to them out
Because
out
yeah.
front
Because then
because
people would
they
just
don't
take it the wrong
want
way.
any girls to think that even though obviously of course I've worked with them because I'm from the Philippines, but they're
Mm.
so strict with that.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm just very, very happy that I have my KF family who helped me out, put together my national costume. Well, the national costume was from Chico. It was
Mm-hmm.
a
Yeah.
one national costume in Miss Philippines, right? So I had to wear his creations, but I'm still thankful for that. But what I'm trying to say is that KF family was I was so blessed to have KF family to help me put together everything that I need to be
Mm-hmm.
prepared, come prepared to the pageant. I have Leo Almodal to be to for my
Oh,
gown. I
amazing.
have yeah, like I have Tito Raj, Mommy G that who tirelessly taught me how to walk. It's really not my strength, like honestly, like there's just too many people that really helped me in my journey. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just one person, like I have so many people to be thankful for. So yeah, guys, if you think we have it easy because we're from the Philippines, that is a
No.
lie. That's a lie. That's really a big lie.
Okay.
I went to Vienna with just two suitcases for 6 weeks, and one
Wow.
suitcase there's three. So the third one is just entirely for my national costume, but the two, that's it. That's all, including
Wow.
the shoes, everything, my long gown. It's
Oh my
crazy.
god, only two. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Grabe.
That's why I'm a little bit jelly with the girls from other countries who bring like 10,
Oh my
12 suitcases.
god.
That's a
I'm
dream for
just astounded. Like, how could they afford that? I could barely afford bringing three over. Like, oh god.
Yeah.
but
Another
nonetheless, we got to represent our country. That's
with
the
so
most
Mm-hmm.
much
important.
on with so
Yeah.
much pride and dignity.
Yeah.
But speaking of
Yes.
dignity, there's also another issue that cropped out. This is gonna be the last. Okay, I just want you
Yeah,
to
no
hear this
worries.
out. You know, what happened 2 years ago? There was a controversy,
Mm.
which involved um,
Yeah, I think
which
I'm
involved
aware of that. Wow, this
especially
is
with
hot
what's happening in the with especially with what's happening right now in the age of Me Too movement. So how
now.
do you think
Yeah, I'd
um
like to use iha ko
yeah,
movement.
apart from fending off criticism
Yeah.
about about that about the pageant being made for Filipinos,
Oh
so
my God!
we
Yeah,
still
I
got
actually read a few articles few days ago. Was it or last? Was yeah about these
so
things.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel that it's the pageant is always mired in in a lot of controversies year in and out. Parang
You
hindi
know
it's
what? We
All
have to be
pageants are.
realistic here. It's just so unfair that they would single out pageantry like that. I
Mm.
mean, these abuses happen everywhere.
Everywhere.
It so happened that we were in a pageant, and it could be maximized than what it
Mm-hmm.
actually is. Because honestly, I've heard both sides,
Mm-hmm.
and what happened in the media was crazy. You know, uh, everywhere we are. I mean, as a lady trying to navigate our life in this in on Earth, it's being born. Being born a lady is already hard
Is
enough.
there? Yeah.
Automatically, it's so sad, but it's still happening. Like the moment that you're born a lady, you always have to work harder.
Mm-hmm. Preach.
And God will always try. There will always be guys who will try. And I'm not here to be a hypocrite and say that's not happening in the pageant in pageant world. It's not.
Mm.
Of course not. Of course it happens. Um, there are girls. Really, it's sad that there are girls who um who I don't want to say choose, but who are in unfortunate situations like that.
yeah, okay.
In unfortunate situations like that. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, they did not choose it. No one chooses that. No one,
No.
it's not a choose. It's not a choice that everyone wants. But there might be circumstances for some other girls um, that find themselves to be in that situation, and I'm sorry for the girls that have to go through that, and I would like to let them know that they are not alone, and there's still there are sisters that are willing to hear out and help out, and
Yeah.
yeah, with in terms of the question about the controversy, I think it's really unfortunate, and I think it would have been nice um, to know both sides of the story, because we also have another side on the carousel side. I just don't want to speak on their behalf, because
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm in the right
Yes.
position to do that.
Yeah.
But I've heard both side of the story, and I understand that if there's someone a creep, there's creeps everywhere, but there's just someone, a person who's annoying these girls. Like, these girls doesn't deserve to be annoyed by this person, and
Mm.
just
And
as one, I can speak on behalf of Miss Earth, I guess. I am 100% sure that the moment that that was reported to Tita Lorraine, the thing is, it wasn't reported straight to us. It just came out of the media
mm.
straight away. Like, these things should have been reported right away
Yeah.
to whoever is the team manager, and then let
Yeah.
Miss Earth fight for you. Because what
Mm-hmm.
happened was they fought against Miss Earth. They did not fight with Miss Earth.
Mm.
One thing I'm 100% sure about is the moment that Carousel or Miss Earth found out about that situation, that person who annoyed these ladies were banned from all of the activities.
Events.
Yeah, he cannot even go near. And there are times that he still finds his way. I don't know how he does it. I don't know who he's, connected with, but this person somehow finds his way to just like be
There.
around.
Yeah.
But this person, yeah, he's just there. I personally saw him and I was like, what is he doing here? And then, like when someone reports and then there goes the lady guards just,
Mm.
trying to protect
I think
us right
I think
away.
one of the greatest things that Carousel did was creating security of women,
Mhm.
and that felt really secure. And it was like, because we Filipino women were known to be very fiery and very strong, and having those kinds of women as our security guards was incredible, because it's like I had my titas protecting me the entire time.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, I hope that was heard. I don't know, but yeah, just having security be women, and that being that change, because they can understand what we go through. Whereas, like, yes, men are strong. I mean, as someone who can deadlift 100 kilos, I am also very strong. But we had, really strong female security guards who were there to protect us and
Oh.
keep us safe. I think my headphones are dying.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this one's gone. But yeah.
Yeah, so I hope I was able to answer your question, Adam. Oh, I think Adam froze.
The Adam frozen. I guess just
But
yeah.
it's quite, it's quite. I really find it unfair and sad for people to
Hmm.
just like, you know, it's like stereotyping. Also, that's
Yeah.
not good.
And from
Everyone has their own journey and has their own story.
very much
There are
so.
good and bad ones, and it's. But if there's something that I could, at least guarantee is that I know that Miss Earth will do everything in its power to protect.
Yes. Very, yeah,
Mhm.
I 100% agree. And like
These,
coming from
these
last
breaches,
year,
these breaches are are unforeseen.
yeah. And coming from what I went through last year, we had some creepy people watching us. But as soon as you say, and there will be times when we're like, oh, should we say something? Should we say something? But then once you get that courage to be like, hey, can we make sure that these guys aren't just watching us because we feel very uncomfortable? Team managers will get right on it, take them away, and we feel safe. Like, I know that I truly was blessed with our team managers, because
Mhm.
they were just so great to have and be those like carousel representatives. They were just
Yeah,
incredible.
that's true.